All right, folks, we're back on the Boss Man Show. New head coach of the Duquesne Dukes, my man Dru Joyce, was on the Boss Man Show. Play the acronym out of the MAC conference. Brother Dru, how you doing? That's good up there in Pittsburgh, my brother.
Man, everything's good this way, boss man. Man, appreciate you having me on the show here today. Looking forward to just, talking ball, chopping it up with you.
No doubt, my brother. Let me ask you, man, how has it been moving that one seat over, brother? I know when you're an assistant coach, you give a lot of suggestions. So now how has it been making the decisions that one seat over, my brother?
That's probably one of the biggest differences, right? As an assistant coach, it's like, hey, we should do this, or hey, coach, I got something. And now all of that information is falling on my shoulders. And you have to be able to make those decisions, but you also have to, you know, be conscious of everything, the information that's coming into you, that you're receiving from your assistant coaches because they're doing you got to trust that they're doing their best, right? And I believe my staff is, right? And anything that they bring to me is well thought out, is researched, and it has not only the best interest of maybe just us as a staff, but for the entire program. We just got to all be bought in. I think, at the end of the day, I'm only going to be as successful as my how well my staff is, how good my staff is. So, that's important. So yeah, I get a lot of suggestions, and that's good. I want those guys to feel like they can come talk to me, they can bring ideas to me, and I tell them like I'm gonna say no a lot, but don't stop coming in the office. Don't stop, feeding me ideas. But I'm gonna say yeah to some too.
No doubt. And the main thing, also very important, you set the schedule now.
So I like to think so. I really like to think I set the schedule, but man, come to find out, I'm being scheduled. You know what I mean? That's I took the chair like, yeah, I'm making a schedule, and this how no, I'm getting scheduled. They need me here, they need you there. So it works both ways.
No doubt. And brother, like, at what point, brother Drew, did you decide you want to get into coaching, man? I know you been overseas for a lot of years, man. So, at what point did you get the bug to want to coach? I know for you play for so long, do you really want to stay in the game and get into coaching? So, what point you kind of said, hey, I want to start coaching?
Man, it's always been a part of me. It wasn't something that just hit me due to longevity of playing in the game. I can think back to the age of 13 and 14, having that mindset, uh, coaching younger AAU teams, running basketball camps, like really being groomed in ways that I didn't even know at the time to be able to one day be in this position. So it's always been a dream of mine. I've fought even with my own playing career. Like, man, I need to get into coaching. I got that. That feeling that it's time for me to explore my career in that way. So I would go back and forth almost during my professional career, year after year. Is it time for me to put the basketball down and walk a different path? And I just decided to let it play out the way it did. I had some goals in mind to play and build a playing career over 10 plus years. So once I felt like I accomplished that, then it was, what's my next step going to be? And I got an unbelievable opportunity upon retiring from playing to be with Coach Dennis Gates and his staff, and that was, man, I couldn't ask for a better start. His belief in me, his willingness to, take a young guy straight off the court and put him in an assistant coach's role was, like, hey, he had to have a lot of faith in that decision. And, I believe I lived up to the best of my ability,
No doubt.
because we did some good things, right? As an assistant, your job is to make sure that the head coach shines and, does and is on a pedestal and does the best job he possibly can. And I think he did so.
Now, I remember him mentioning you on the show to me a few times when I had him on the show. I interviewed him. He was in stadium. My man Billy hooked it up for us. So yeah, he would definitely talk about you as assistant coach and how you were still getting some of the drills, man. So he definitely meant to talk you up, brother. He sure did.
No, man, me and his relationship is really good, man. Like I said, he'll always be a part of my legacy for the opportunity that he gave me. And that jump started my career, and I was able to learn, I was able to dive in and really gain a lot of experience.
And Coach Joyce, let me ask this, man, for you, having played overseas as long as you have with young men from going to Duquesne, you can help them know what they look for overseas for is they want to play basketball after their careers because with the NIL and the portal, some of these guys move up a level, but they're not putting up any numbers. And scouts and agents look at numbers. So I would say at Duquesne and ball out, not go be the ninth man at a high major on only getting 20 minutes, 60, 20 minutes a night, maybe not really sure what I can do, but I can get 30 at Duquesne and have the ball in my hand and stop at myself. So talk about trying to get young men to see the bigger picture, not so much that short-term, immediate gratification of some quick money per se.
It's a delicate situation. It's the give and take of the game. Um, but you as a player, like in your own selfishness, right? And it's okay. We all have things that we want to do and what we want to accomplish. And I understand that even from the player's perspective. You have to figure out not only the situation that you have at hand, but what can also position you for what's to happen next. Not saying that needs to be your complete focus. You always need to stay in the present, right? Your present is going to dictate what's going to play out in the future if you handle it the right way. But yeah, I mean, uh, Europe isn't going to look at the SEC, or and not on that's not fair. I shouldn't even name conferences, but they're not going to look at conferences um, and say, well, this guy played in such and such conference if he didn't put up the numbers, because a European country is thinking their level is better than college. And if
Mm-hmm.
you didn't succeed at this level, why should I take you at my level? Um, so I mean, I'm tied in with a lot of, European coaches, and just during my time, I spent time around those coaches and those GMs. They're not looking at, you know, teams over here as better than what they have. They look at their rosters like, man, we got former NBA guys, we got high level pros and high level Europeans. So if you weren't able to showcase and compete at the collegiate level, then what makes them think, they should take that opportunity on you? So you got to put in the work.
No,
So,
no, no doubt, man. And speaking of that work, coach, how much did you ever get done on the court for the spring here before the guys were home for summer? They'll be back with some summer school, but how much was able to accomplish just before summertime to go leave for the spring semesters, kind of see what you got and kind of put some little your spin on things now that Coach Darren Bright retired.
for me, it was just building small habits. I really stayed away from the court this spring. We did have our workouts, but I realized, like, man, I have a lot of days with these guys. And, if I wear and tear on them right now in the spring, then what am I setting myself up for, as we go about the season? So, I think for the most important thing for me this past spring, was the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
What type of mindset and character am I going to develop within the team and the program? So I tried to attack the attack the brain, attack the heart more than anything, and just have them understand the importance of our values: discipline, integrity, enthusiasm, and toughness. Those are the things I want to make sure that they bring to the table each and every day. So they probably got more coaching in those departments from me than even on the floor.
This summer, are you going to do more like team drills or more kind of skill development, kind of grow their games? I know with you being a first year head coach, may want to put some of your stuff in, but how you going to kind of handle that this summer session, kind of balance team versus getting them better overall?
It's exactly what you said. You got to balance it. You have to balance it. We still have to build on those values, because there's a certain level of energy and effort that is expected that we play with, a certain type of toughness. But yes, they have to get better skill wise too as well. Like if you want the plays to run better, your players need to be better. Like you have to operate in the manner of how do I make this young man a better player? And if you can help a young man get better with his talents and his skill set, it's only going to pay off on the court. So we'll build our foundation when it comes to offense and defense, but skill development is huge.
100%. And for you, Coach Joyce, how are you going to attack the non-con schedule? Because unlike 10 being a very tough mid-major league, a lot of great coaches in that league, a lot of great teams. So how do you balance testing your team too much, or kind of give them a little bit of both here? So maybe some buy games here and there, but also going to an MTE or testing them on the road at a high major school. So how you kind of balance schedules? I know that's your hardest job besides scheduling games.
Right. It's not an easy thing because you wanna be able to win. You wanna be able to test your young men and put them in some environments that they may see come the conference season. Because we're going to play in some sold out gyms. We're going to play in some high major like atmospheres. And I would hate for my crew to be walking in and that be the first time that they've experienced that, right? Because that's going to be a shock. There's going to be a shock value when it comes to that. And, hopefully we pass the test, but sometimes you get exposed in that moment. But our schedule, we're going to challenge ourselves. We're going to challenge ourselves. Our conference, the A10 conference, they want us to, be successful. They want us to challenge ourselves. They want us to win games, and show how our depth as a conference, how tough we are as a conference. And, this has always been and will remain one of the best basketball conferences in all of college basketball, right?
No doubt.
That's never going to change. The talent is here. The coaching is here. The tradition of the program still lives here. And it's a great basketball environment. And that, like I said, that will never waver. I mean, you if you look at where teams we're losing players at times, right? There's a reason for that because there's talent in this league.
No doubt.
there's
No.
there's a reason for that. They're taking our coaches. There's a reason for that talent. So I said I want to shine a huge light on the A10 conference and just how good I believe this conference is.
No doubt, man. From top to bottom in conference play, it's no easy night. You're like, no, there's no gimmies in the A10. You gotta come bring it every night. And the quality of coaches who I know personally in the league, man, it's crazy. And how
Yeah.
was it gonna be for you as you watch film and to prepare for this season coming up? Know their tendencies more and more and kind of honing on different stuff as you get ready to prepare your team for this great season you have coming up in your first year.
You know, just I'm gonna stick to the disciplines that I've learned, right?
Hmm.
I'm not going to try to recreate the wheel because I moved over a seat. It's always been, even as an assistant coach, and I've had the experience as an assistant coach to lead the practice, to lead the scout team, to make the practice plan. So these are things that, by the graces of a coach Dambrot and a coach Gates, that they've allowed me to do. So the preparation that I've been able to receive has been unbelievable. Like every assistant coach doesn't get that experience, right? They sometimes can move into the chair blindly. And I believe that, those guys helped me a great deal. And like I said, I'm not going to recreate the wheel. I'm just going to prepare my team for battle that day, by by being thorough with what I do, my scouting report, the personnel, and trying to find the details and figuring out what's the best way my team can win this game and how I get them ready to do that.
No doubt, my brother. And for you, man, up in Pittsburgh, where you at, talk about the opportunities off the court for your young men to get internships, to build those relationships with people in the business community of Pittsburgh, or the Steelers, also the Pirates and the Penguins as well, to kind of get people in their corner. So once the ball starts bouncing, like it all does for all of us, they have connections to help them in their life after basketball.
And you named all of those professional sports teams that are accessible to us, that we have really great relationships. As a recent, man, we attended the Penguins game where they honored us, the Pirates game where we threw out the first pitch and they honored us off of our success. And this is a sports town community, so it really bands together. You got people that want to share in those experiences with our student athletes. So having a strong alumni base here in the city, Duquesne has an unbelievable alumni base. If you're locked in, you got one of these class rings around here, and that is a statement, right? That's how they walk around. They flash that class ring, and you know the deal. But yeah, I think when it comes to the opportunities by playing in a in a bigger city, with that has a small town feel at times, a tight knit feel. Our guys are in wonderful position to be able to take advantage of what's next, what's the next opportunity, because like you said, the numbers show that basketball is not going to extend for everybody. It's going to change.
No doubt, brother. You know what? PNC Park has one of the best views ever. I went there
Facts.
to the Braves play one year, man, and it was like one of the best views ever of from. I'm like, man, this is nice, you
Yeah, the
know.
MLB rated it one of the best parks in all of baseball. And you're right, you sit in there, um, go catch an evening game, afternoon game, whichever. And it's a great spot to be. I'm gonna catch one here soon.
No doubt. Now, for you, Coach Joyce, let me ask you this, man. I know for me, I can't watch basketball without thinking about strategy. So for you, is there a sport you can watch, or can you watch basketball without thinking about, are they running a Zoom? Are they doing? Are they running a drill? Like, can you watch it without going into that mind frame? Since we all played, like I can't do it. But when I watch baseball, I can just be a fan. I watch hockey, I can be a fan. But football and basketball, my mind starts going to strategy.
Yeah. There's certain sports like I'm a former tennis player. I could watch tennis and there's pretty much no correlation to basketball other than the lateral movement. Look, I'm always finding a way. Um, but that you bring up something that's interesting, that's very, very tough for me because I always look for this relation. My son, he plays soccer, and I don't know. I watch soccer. I cannot play at all. I have zero skill. But as I watch the game and I watch the spacing and I watch the passing and I watch the one-on-one matchups, my mind instantly goes like, man, that looks a little like basketball right there. I went to the hockey game the other day and I'm like, man, that's a fast break. They running in my head, I said they running the floor, but they skating on that ice and
Yes.
the attack was the same. And that's just me in a nutshell, man. My mind sometimes don't cut off from the game.
Nah, it's funny you tennis. I play tennis too. I was part of the USTA Atlanta group, man, as a kid. So let me ask you, you have a one-handed backhand or a two-handed backhand?
I had both. Originally was taught two-handed when I was young. That was the first steps. But as you start watching and mature, you wanna finesse that thing a little bit, and have that single hand like you see on TV at times. But the two hand is more powerful probably and more control.
No doubt, man. Like my favorite player was Andre Agassi. Then it was James Blake. So I went to one hand because I couldn't hit a two-hand backhand for nothing. I could a forehand and volley. My backhand was trash. So I go to the one-hander to give me some more. So at least a half a chance to do something on the backhand side.
Yeah. Hey, I know guys who, you know, and you still see it even at the tops. They run around that backhand. They run
They
around it
sure,
if they can.
yes, sir. Hit that inside out forehand or inside in forehand. You already know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, it's cool. I hate this gonna happen this year, Coach Joyce. The Atlanta Open is ending. It's moving to Dallas for good. So it's the last year of the Atlanta Open. So we have Vince
Mm.
Williams coming to play exhibition on that Sunday night. So I can look forward to seeing that one more time in Atlanta. I hate it's moving to Dallas, but we're gonna enjoy it one more time in July here.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yes,
That sounds good. I actually have never had a chance to get to a professional tennis event, and that is on the list. So I'm looking forward to one day being able to do that.
man. If you're free in August, man, we'll be at the Cincinnati Masters, man, in Mason,
Okay.
Ohio. If you got some time,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
If you got,
For sure, for sure.
we're doing a live broadcast. I'm gonna get you a number offline, brother. We're doing a live broadcast from Cincinnati Masters for a couple of days, man. Because I love tennis. I play like you say. I love it. It's my sport. I love. I see. Yeah, I used to do a little bit of that, but I love watching. I
Right.
love watching.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel. Like, man, I used to play a little bit.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today, man. Hope to see you doing a live period. I'll be at the Peace Jam. I'll be at the Rock Kill. I'll be at Lake Point. Hope I see you on the road somewhere recruiting on a live period, man. But it's been an enjoyable having the show, man. I'll do this again real soon, brother.
Absolutely. And we'll definitely see each other on the road, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for your time, man. For sure.
Anytime, my brother.
Always.